Big developments in the Cuyahoga County corruption case. Closing arguments in Jimmy Dimora's trial are underway right now. And that's where we find Chief Investigator Ron Regan tonight. And Ron, Dimora's defense attorney actually told the jury, and I want to make sure I say this correctly, he told the jury to return a guilty verdict?
Well, that's right, Danita. It was an awkward moment. Here's what happened. Defense attorney William Whitaker was just finishing up his closing arguments to the jury when he turned to jurors and said he was confident that after jurors considered each and every piece of evidence in this case, that jurors would return a verdict of guilty. Then a second or two or three went by, and of course he realized the gaffe and said, of course, not guilty, not guilty. Earlier today, prosecutors labeled Dimora the king of the county, reminded jurors that only the offer of a bribe and not the actual acting on it would be appropriate for a guilty verdict. And as Dimora leaves the courthouse here, prosecutors spent much of the morning trying to convince jurors that please follow the law in this case, and they stressed one important fact. Dimora and his wife arrived here at the federal courthouse this morning and hurried inside the building, trying to stay dry in a heavy rainfall. We've heard a lot over 7 weeks about food, gifts, home improvements, and prostitutes in exchange for county contracts. But here's what's most important for prosecutors today: making absolutely sure that jurors understand each and every federal law and exactly how Dimora broke the law. So prosecutors this morning went through each count one by one, guiding the jury through the evidence, how it applies, and how the law was broken. And prosecutors called the scheme a pyramid of conspiracy, a conspiracy pyramid. And they showed photos of 20 key players building all the way up to the top of that pyramid with the photos of both Jimmy Dimora and Frank Russo. Now, tonight at 6 o'clock, I'm going to have a lot more on what Dimora's defense attorneys had to say on all of this.